Hello PLP Geometry. Welcome to the fourth installment of Unit 5, talking about parallel and perpendicular lines, and we're finally going to get onto the coordinate plane. Now I'm going to make two videos. The first video is going to explain the topic, and the second one is going to be examples. You're going to see that the rest of this unit is very algebra-y on the coordinate plane, and again, you're going to get a lot of practice, because typically in algebra you do a little bit more practice than you do in geometry. So again, a lot more repetitive problems, but again, more practice on your part. So again, this is part of Unit 5 still. We kind of finished our polygon parallelogram talk. Parallelograms, and now we're on to the coordinate plane discussion. Like I said, the Ohio State test loves these coordinate plane problems because it connects algebra to geometry. And again, this is going to be number 4A, and this is on parallel and perpendicular lines, parallel and perpendicular lines, lines and coordinate plane. Long titles, I apologize, right? But it is what it is. And the coordinate plane. So, parallel and perpendicular lines with the coordinate plane. Alright, so let's talk about parallel lines first. So, we should know on a coordinate plane that parallel lines don't intersect, right? They go in the same direction. So, because of that, your parallel lines have equal slopes. We're going to underline that, put a big exclamation point, right? Parallel lines have equal slopes. So let's look at two lines and let's graph them just to show this. All right, so here's my coordinate plane. Okay, I'm going to go 5 in every direction. I'm actually going to graph a couple lines here. Okay, so let's graph, I'll give one green, let's graph line L. And let's say it has the equation of y equals 1/2 x plus 3. All right, so let's go back to our algebra 1 day. So this is slope-intercept form. You start with the 3. The 3 goes up 3, so 1, 2, 3. And then that is a slope of 1/2. So we go up 1 and right 2, up 1, right 2. And there is our line. So that's line L. Okay, and then let's do line M. Let's say line M has a equation of y equals 1/2 x, and let's say plus 1. So now we're going to do the plus 1, so let's go up 1. And now to do the slope, let's go up 1 and right 2. And for line M, you can see, and again, notice that our lines do look parallel to each other, like they're not going to intersect. And if you look at these two equations, 1/2, 1/2, both have slopes equal to 1/2. So the slopes are 1/2. And because they're equal, those lines are parallel. Try to do a better job of not going through the 1/2 with the circle. But slopes are 1/2. Okay, so that's parallel lines. Okay, now let's talk about perpendicular lines. Okay, so perpendicular lines. So we know perpendicular lines are not parallel, right? They intersect. And the special things about perpendicular lines is they intersect to form right angles. So because of this, your perpendicular lines have what we call opposite, reciprocal slopes. Opposite, reciprocal slopes. So let's graph two lines. We'll do the same thing. Here's my x and y axis. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And let's start with the red line here. So we're going to call line L. Y equals, with the same line. Y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Same line. So go up 3. And then from there, use the slope of up 1, right 2. Okay, and there's line L. Okay, and now for our second line, let's again use a y-intercept of 1, but let's call m this time. Let's say it's y equals negative 2x plus 1. So we still go up 1, but now that slope is a negative 2. We put that over top of 1, which means go down 2 and right 1. So now instead of going up, we're going down and to the right. And notice if we connect the dots here, right there, see how they cross? Close enough. That looks like a right angle. These two lines are perpendicular. So if we take a look at these two lines, 1/2, negative 2 over 1. Those are the slopes. So the slopes are 1/2 and negative 2 over 1. Those are opposite reciprocals. Notice that one is positive and one is negative. And notice that one has the 1 on top and the 2 on bottom, and the other one it's flipped. So your opposite reciprocals are like positive A over B and negative B over A. One's positive, one's negative, and again, reciprocating means we flip the fraction upside down. Okay? All right, last thing to talk about before I get the second video going. So we're going to have to use what's called point-slope form. Now in Algebra 1 we mentioned it, but we did not harp on it very much. So now we're going to, because we're getting older. So point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m parenthesis x minus x1. Now, in this formula, you have a point, which is your x1, y1, which will be given to you, and you have a slope, which is equal to the letter m. So in this formula, you will replace x1 with a number, y1 with a number, and m. And your goal is to eventually get this to simplify into slope-intercept form. To get this into slope-intercept form, it takes 2 steps. The first step, you're going to distribute the m. Notice that slope-intercept form has no parentheses, so we need to get rid of those parentheses from the right side. And then the second step is we need to get y by itself. So we have to either add or subtract the y1 from the left to the right. And again, the goal is to get y equals, right, y all by itself. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video there. I have 3 examples to do in the next video. All right, so continue watching the next video.